The weather outside is frightful, and so was that October box office. Yeah, it's right, guys, it's true. Revenues for October were tragic, with about 425 million across all titles that came out in the 10th month of the year. That is the worst collective haul since October of 1997, when I was a wee lad, 1 years old, nearly 30 years ago. I feel like we are going through a transitional period, though, that is more dramatic than we've ever seen before. Let's be honest about it. You've got box office surprises with anime features like K-pop Demon Hunters, Chainsaw Man, Demon Slayer, and much more animated flicks. The landscape is very different. We're trying to figure it out, how to bake our cake and eat it too. There are some exciting things just around the corner, though, for the big screen and small. We're talking about it right here, right now. I'm talking about the Stranger Things finale for Netflix. That's going to be huge for Netflix and also theatrical experiences as well. Because if y'all haven't seen us on social media, man oh man, Stranger Things will be released theatrically for that final episode. The Michael Jackson movie is going to be huge. I'm going on record right now that it's going to be Oscar nominated and may or may not be the best biopic of all time. And then, of course, we have Wicked for Good still coming out this year. And then, of course, Avatar as well, the first installment. And we're talking all of that and more on this week's episode of ITCAF Podcast. We're going to be talking about the Disney versus YouTube dilemma that's happening right now. Disney and ABC are blacked out on YouTube TV. We're going to be talking all about that disagreement. We're also going to be talking about the Warner Brothers Discovery disagreement with Paramount Skydance. Man, oh man, Skydance might eventually hostily take over Warner Brothers, which would be absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. But like I said, we got all the nitty ditty details right here, right now on ITCAP Podcast. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Did y'all see that? What?
Let's just throw Scream 6 in there for like
It was good.
Movie. It was really good. The best of the franchise, in my opinion, since the first one.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Oh my goodness. Welcome back to episode 312 of ITCAF Podcast, where you can find all the latest and greatest entertainment news for free on the easy craziness, man. We're super excited to be back. Of course, you know your host with the most, myself, J. Logan Austin. Dustin is not here today. He's dealing with some family stuff. So I decided I wanted to still put out content for this week. So here we are, still talking about the latest and greatest freaking industry news that happened in Hollywood this past week. If y'all could send some thoughts and prayers out to the Bergman family, that would be much appreciated. They have some stuff going on, but man, oh man, they're still rocking and rolling, still being their very positive selves that we know and love them to be, that's for sure. But like I said, thoughts and prayers out to the Bergman family. We are always with you, that's for sure. But before going into the rest of the show, please be sure to leave a comment down below, because if you didn't know, liking, sharing, commenting, all of those good things help the algorithm find this specific podcast. We are an entertainment-based podcast who love giving up-and-comers the chance to know and learn about the entertainment industry. We don't only help those trying to break into the entertainment industry, but we know there's those few out there, or many masses out there, who also just love entertainment news, and that's what we're here for, man. Those who love entertainment news, be sure to like, subscribe to ITCAF Podcast, the best entertainment podcast out there right now. And then, of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can start rocking the latest and greatest Crazy Ant Media gear. We got a little bit of something for a little bit of everyone. We got the shirts, we got the hats, we got the polos, we got backpacks, we got stuffed animals, we got a little bit of everything, man. Super excited about that. Thanksgiving merch will be on the website soon. Man, oh man, Black Friday is just around the corner, and then the holiday Christmas season. Have y'all started shopping yet? I know I have not, so we got to get on that. We got to get on that, man. Oh man. But we are going to bring it down a little bit. The first story in our industry news segment is about Diane Ladd. Now, if y'all don't know, she is a three-time Oscar-nominated actress for her roles in Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, Wild at Heart, and Rambling Rose. She died earlier this week at her residence in California. A representative for her daughter, Laura Dern, confirmed the news. Now, Ladd was 89 years old. Rose Diane Ladner was born in Meridian, Mississippi, but moved to New York City while still a teen. Now, Ladd worked as a model and a dancer at the Copacabana nightclub before making her stage debut in Tennessee Williams' Orpheus Descending. Now, Ladd and her first husband, actor Bruce Dern, welcomed their daughter, Laura Dern, who you may or may not have seen in a lot of freaking stuff. On February 10th of 1967. The couple divorced, though, in 1969. The prolific Ladd drew a vivid character portraits throughout her career, and while it's not noteworthy to have a family in the business, Ladd was unusual for the number of times she and her daughter actually acted together. Ladd is survived by her daughter Laura Dern and, of course, her two grandchildren. This is a big one for the entertainment industry, especially one of those families who have multiple people in the family who are part of the entertainment industry, right? It's always so hard, too, because, a lot of the children get compared to their parents. So now to have that parent be gone, I'm sure that is very difficult for Miss Laura Dern. So thoughts and prayers also go out to the Dern family, and the Ladd family, of course. But I do think that her memory and legacy will, of course, be carried on by her magnificent daughter and continue supporting her. And yeah, I think, every time a big name celebrity like this passes away, I, as a cinephile, cineholic, film buff, whatever we're calling ourselves nowadays, always goes back and watches some of their storytelling, some of their projects, because I feel like it gives them respect, right? I mean, I always think that actors, writers, directors will live on forever because of this medium that we're in, and it's a beautiful thing. So hope that, we continue paying it forward and watching these films so that these phenomenal people don't get forgotten. That's for sure. Well, now we're heading over to AMC Theaters, where, of course, it's the world's largest theater chain, and we're hoping that Jurassic World Rebirth, Weapons, and Superman would lift its most recently quarterly earnings. But they did not. Revenues at the theater chain for the 3 month period ending in September slid to $1.3 billion. Now, I know you're saying, Logan, $1.3 billion, that's a lot of freaking money. It is, you're right. But that is a 3.6 drop from the previous year back in 2024. Why I always forget what year we're in. AMC also recorded a net loss of 298.2 million compared to the net loss of 20.7 million in the prior year quarter. Now, emissions in the most recent quarter topped out at 715.1 million. Now, that is down from 744.2 million in 2024, while food and beverage sales fell to for $451.8 million from $490.4 million in the year ago period. It's a sign that fewer people are hitting the multiplex for the summer crop of blockbusters. Now, hopefuls failed to deliver that same sizzle. Box office revenues for October, of course, like I said, plunged to the lowest since 1997, weighed down by flops like Tron Ares, The Smashing Machine, both of those coming out in October, and the rest of the year looks more promising. However, ish, we got sequels like Zootopia, Wicked, and Avatar scheduled to hit theaters in the next 2 months. So fingers crossed that, those help us out a little bit, guys. I don't want the theatrical experience to go away, but it's scary, man. It's looking like it may way way down the line as in maybe like 10, 15, 20 years, but where we're at right now, it's not a good place, but we are in a transitional period where studios have to figure out how to market. They have to figure out how to work with these theaters and these distributors, to figure out how to put those butts back in the seats, whether that be the tentpole event style type films or something else. We do know that AMC has a nice working relationship with Taylor Swift. Her first Eras Tour film came out. It did gangbusters at the box office. The second one, the official release party of Life of a Showgirl or whatever, it did pretty decent. It took the number one spot at the box office the weekend it came out, but it didn't do as well as the last one did. So it's going to be very interesting to see how theaters recap and regroup after this year. Hopefully, 2026 will bring some more revenue and more big name films and event style films to the theaters so that more people can get there. Because if y'all remember when we first started 2025, everybody was talking about survive till 25, survive till 25. That's when we'll start making money again. And it's not looking that way, guys. I mean, we had a great July. Don't get me wrong. The summer box office was pretty decent, but it's still not back to pre-pandemic levels, which is very freaking scary. So we have to keep going to go see movies. If you're a little interested, please go see it. If you don't want to spend the massive amounts of money at night, go during the day, matinee times. Also help the theaters. So please do that. Please do that. All right, now we're heading over to Disney, where, of course, it's our favorite studio. We love the Mouse House, but the Mouse House and Google/YouTube are battling it out right now. That's right. And it's expected to continue throughout the weekend. When will we see ESPN and ABC back on our service? We don't know, says YouTube. We wish we could give you an answer today. But unfortunately, we're headed into another sports packed weekend without a deal in place. This is a memo from Disney executive. The carriage dispute between YouTube TV and Disney appears to be set to continue. And a note sent to employees Friday, Disney Entertainment co-chairs Dana Walden and Alan Bergman and ESPN chairman Jimmy Petrillo said that there is no deal yet in place between the two providers. Now, ABC and ESPN and other Disney outlets have not been on YouTube TV since October 31st. Now, I know that's only been a week, but still, that's a substantial amount of time, especially when you have football happening every single weekend. As of a result of the dispute, which in turn appears to have impacted ratings for the networks. Of course it has. And then, of course, like I said, when will ESPN and ABC be back on the service? They don't have an answer right now. They don't have a freaking answer. The chairmans or the executives claim they have offered Google, the owner of YouTube TV, a deal that would cost less overall than the terms of their recently expired license, and have offered the ability for customers to have flexible, customized packages around sports, entertainment, and even kids and family deals. Now, despite all of this, YouTube TV continues to insist on receiving preferential terms that are below market and have been made few concessions. Of course, this is coming from Disney's memo. YouTube continues to state that Disney is misrepresenting the offer and is asking for a higher than what Charter and DirecTV play for ABC networks and more than what they charge Hulu and Fubo. Now, they are arguing for a most favored nation clause that guarantees that if and when they pass the Comcast and Charter as the largest provider paid TV in the US, they will get the lowest rate available in the market. That clause are typically for the large TV players. Now, here's something that a YouTube memo said. Once again, Disney is resorting to their old tactics like leaking documents to the press, negotiating in public through their paid talent, and misrepresenting the facts, including from the deals they've offered, and taking credit for our product proposals. Our team stands ready to make a fair agreement in line with their deals and other distributors, and we encourage Disney to come to the table and do what's best for our mutual customers. Now, spokesperson for YouTube said in the response to that Disney memo. So it is a very interesting situation. This happens every couple years with a lot of freaking things. Cable networks, linear television, and now YouTube being in this space, it only makes sense. So it's going to happen, guys. The deal is going to happen, but we might have to stretch it out a little bit longer before you can start seeing Disney channels, not Disney Channel, oh, the Disney Channel, but Disney specific channels like ABC, and a couple of others. You're going to have to wait to see when it'll come back on YouTube TV, which is very difficult for the people who have already cut the cord and are looking to watch their sports, and they just can't because of this BS. But I give it a maximum 2 weeks, and the maximum 2 weeks we'll have a deal. Hopefully, we get it done in next week, but right now there's no end in sight, it looks like. All right, y'all. Now, time for some business talk. This one is intense, that's for sure. We know the past couple weeks, Paramount has been making bid after bid to try to get Warner Brothers Discovery, and it's getting to the point where Paramount Skydance and David Elson's like, all right, mofos, we got you, no problem. So let's get into the business aspect of Paramount Skydance and Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount Skydance has already informed Warner Brothers Discovery it believes that $23.50 per share of the acquisition is an offer and is in the best interest of their shareholders. Now, it has to plan on what to do if Warner Brothers Discovery board disagrees. Now, Warner Brothers Discovery says it's openly for sale and intends to be publicly announced its plans towards the middle of or end of December, according to people familiar with the matter, who asked not to be named because of discussions are private, of course. Now, the legacy media giant, run by Chief Executive Officer David Zaslav, is deciding whether to split the company into two or sell some assets or sell the entire company. Now, no matter what happens to Warner Brothers specifically, it's not going to be good. Let's be honest about it, because having these conversations with people on the internet and, doing our own individual research, none of the deals for Warner Brothers, like being bought ever really in the past like 30 years have been good. So I think the best case scenario is for Paramount to buy them and let it still operate as its own independent studio, even though it will be obviously under the Skydance banner. But all of these other potential buyers, I think you would literally have a legacy studio closing down. If Netflix bought Paramount, if Netflix bought Warner Brothers, it's gonna go away. They're gonna just take all of that IP and literally shut the doors after like what, 102, 103 years. If, Comcast did that, maybe they would leave the doors open, but I definitely do feel like you can't let another freaking tech company come in and buy this legacy studio, because obviously what Amazon is doing with MGM is not going anywhere. So you do have to make the appropriate decision and figure out what is the best possible step. But we do know David Zaslav is trying to stave this off as long as possible, because his plan is still to split the company into two different parts, where basically back into a Warner Brothers Pictures or Warner Brothers Entertainment role and the Discovery stuff, which what it initially was, but it would be owned and ran by the same person, basically. Well, the Warner Brothers Discovery CFO would be technically the CEO of the Discovery content, but we know that's just how the titles work. It's still gonna be fucking David Zaslav, the last man standing, being reported to type of situation. But it's such a bad situation, man. Warner Brothers has awful, awful luck, in my opinion. But like they put out some amazing historic films. So and television content. Let's be honest about it. HBO and HBO Max and everything that's come out the last like 3 decades has been awesome. But I'm super scared, man, how this is all gonna turn out. I don't think any way is definitely not the way over the rainbow, obviously. But the best case scenario is it still being able to have a banner, still being able to have a shingle. A lot of jobs will be lost no matter what, which is super unfortunate. But the way that the industry is right now, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, I do think that at some point, Paramount is going to just take it. They're going to take it. I mean, David Ellison's father, Larry Ellison, who owns and operates Oracle, has so much freaking money. He's constantly either the richest man or the second richest man or the third richest man. Like he has money. He can do this. So we'll see what happens, man. Of course, this is an ongoing situation that we will continue to follow. But it's scary. We live in a scary time where Warner Brothers might shut down. I don't want that to happen, but it really might shut down. Well, now we're hopping over to Amazon MGM. Speaking of a tech giant that swallowed up a historic studio, where Brett Goldstein, you might know him from Ted Lasso and a couple of other things, is becoming a male escort for a new television show. That's right. We have learned that Goldstein has set up this series Escorted at Amazon Prime Video with an 8 episode order. Now, the log line for the new show states it's a divorced dad, who is Goldstein, in Manhattan, accidentally becomes a male escort in a romantic comedy about second chances, the mayhem of co parenting, and whether real intimacy can ever be bought. Now, in addition to this, Goldstein is a writer, producer, and a co-showrunner on the series. Now, Brian Gallivan, who you might have heard of because he comes from the critically acclaimed Apple TV show Shrinking, will also be an executive producer as well as the co-showrunner. Cooper Wade and Josh Senior from The Bear will also be executive producing alongside Molly Mandel. Warner Brothers Television, where Goldstein is under an overall deal, is the lead studio, with Amazon MGM also producing. Gallivan is a writer and executive producer on Shrinking, in addition to appearing on screen as Stewart. He was also written for shows like Splitting Up Together, Imaginary Mary, and Happy Endings. He first gained recognition for his Second City web series called Sassy Gay Friend. Now, this sounds hilarious. Amazon MGM is always trying to figure out what their niche is. Everybody kind of falls in their own little box when it comes to the streamers, and I feel like they have a problem with what type of stories they want to tell. This could be funny. This could be really funny, or it could be really bad. So we'll see what happens, but I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm a really big fan of both of these two individuals. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. All right, now we're heading over to Netflix, where newcomer May Shrink will star in a live-action Eloise film based on the beloved children's book about the mischievous young girl who lives on the tippy-top floor of the iconic New York City landmark. Shrink will spar on screen with Ryan Reynolds, who is playing an original villainous character in the movie. Now, Netflix just landed the rights to the family film, which has been in development since 2020. Now, though the log line hasn't been revealed, the streaming giant has described the film as a wholly original adventure based on the book series written by Kay Thompson and illustrated by Hilary Knight. Now, get this, guys. You might know this name from Gilmore Girls and Marvelous Miss Maisel. Amy Sherman Palladino, of course, best known for those two projects I just named, will be directing and writing the Eloise film with Hannah Marks and Linda Wolverton co-writing the screenplay. That's super exciting. Every time Amy Sherman Palladino puts out anything, we are watching. That is for sure. So we will definitely be checking that one out. And let's be honest about it. Maybe Ryan Reynolds is trying to gain back that stardom that he had a couple of years ago before all this Ends With Us stuff came out. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, but this definitely seems exciting. That's for sure. Now, to round out our industry news segment, we're doing a short one today since I am a solo host. It's getting hot in here, or is that just the hot wings? That's right, Hot Ones, the buzzy talk show involving chicken wings, is getting another spinoff. First We Feast, the company behind the Sean Evans hosted series, is debuting Hot Ones Wing Pong later this month. The new series, which launches on November 12th, is a combination of the original Hot Ones with the classic party game. Now, Hot Ones Wing Pong sees two teams of talent face off with each team's cups hiding a mystery wing and a daring custom written question. Now, when a cup is sunk, players must decide whether to answer the revealing question or take on the mysterious wing, with the heat levels ranging from mild to merciless. Man, oh man, that sounds hilarious. The first team to clear all of their cups win the match, of course. Now, the premiere episodes features the Daily Show hosts Jordan Kelper, Josh Johnson, Michael Costa, and Grace Koshemit. It will keep the late night theme going with its second episode, which launches on December 8th. And that will feature Saturday Night Live stars Sarah Sherman, Chloe Fineman, Mikey Day, and James Austin Johnson. That's super fun, man. I'm excited for this. And I mean, it says the latest spinoff for the successful online format, which has produced close to 400 episodes in the last 10 years. That's a huge accomplishment. Other shows include Pro Moves, Heat Eaters, and of course, Hot One Versus. So that's super freaking fun. I mean, it just makes sense, man. Sean Evans became an owner of this show a couple years ago, so he's now free to do what he wants, kind of with the concept, and he's doing amazing things. I love the popularity that this thing has gained. I remember watching it way back when freaking like underground rappers would come on and the set was super low quality. Not much different because obviously not much goes into their set dressing, but it was super low quality. But yeah, I love to see their success and I love to see them continue moving forward. So that's freaking awesome. All right, y'all, no top five this week, of course, because I want to do that with Dustin. I don't want to do that by myself. So we're going to go on to the box office recap, where Regretting You last week came in at number one with 8.1 million. Blackbone 2 came in at number two with 8 million. Chainsaw Man, the movie, Res Arc, came in at number three with $6 million. K-pop Demon Hunters came in at number four, probably them AMC theaters that it got released to, with $5.3 million. And oof, a low number for number five with Begonia, that Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons film, which looks wild. Like I said, came in at number five with $4.8 million. Now, new movies you got coming out are Predator Badlands, Die My Love, Christie, and Nuremberg. So that's super exciting. I really want to see Christie. I really don't care about Predator Badlands. That's one I'm fine with catching on a streamer, but I really want to see Christie because freaking Sydney Sweeney is the real deal, y'all. All these people always talk, she's the bottle blonde, dumb blonde, nowadays Marilyn Monroe. Well, that's the thing, man. She is so freaking smart. She graduated valedictorian of her class, and she is such a badass. Let's be honest about it. Look past her looks, and she is hugely influential when it comes to marketing. So be sure to check out Christie, potential Oscar nominee. So yeah, super excited about that. Movies you can still go see right here, right now in select theaters near you. You got Tron Ares, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. If you haven't seen that or have, go check out my review about Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere on Is It Worth It, a little playlist that we have adjacent to our YouTube channel. Go check it out, man. Go see it. Go see it. I think it's, worth the watch, worth the watch. One battle after another. Shelby Oaks as well. And then, of course, all the ones that I listed above. And then, of course, our IMDb Pros top trending segment. Man, oh man, the top trending movie is House of Dynamite, which I've heard mixed reviews about, so I'll have to check that out for myself. The top trending show is It Welcome to Derry. Loving it right now. Only 2 episodes out. Three. The next one will come out on Sunday. And the top trending star is Rebecca Ferguson. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much for listening to this bite-sized episode of ITCAF Podcast. And of course, thank you for getting crazy with us every single week and sticking with us through the years. Y'all are absolutely amazing. You can follow us anywhere and everywhere on social media. The company is at Crazy Ant Media because we are filmmakers, so be sure to check that out. The podcast is at ITCAFpodcast anywhere and everywhere. And then our mental health podcast, Everything's OKP on social media. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll listen to some of those episodes as well. Very influential, men talking mental health. We have family sessions where, he talks to his brother and other people. I talk to my stepdad and my mother. It's an amazing thing, man. We love doing that. It's our bi-weekly therapy session. And then, of course, you can follow us on social media personally. Myself at JLoganAustin, and you can follow him at Crazy Ant CEO. That is for sure. And you guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to you podcasts. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. If you're watching this video on YouTube, hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell for all the latest and greatest notifications coming out of Crazy Ant Media. And then, of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where you can learn a little bit of something about us crazy ants. That's for sure. You won't regret it, man. You won't regret it. This episode, kind of wild. Obviously. I didn't want to put too much in there with it just being by myself. Super sad about AMC. Definitely hoping, the theaters rebound next couple of years because they definitely need it. Super excited though about this Netflix Eloise film. If it's an original story, it's going to be good. I mean, how can it not be good? Amy Sherman Palladino, and I still like Ryan Reynolds. I don't care. So that's very freaking exciting. And so much more happening in Hollywood, man. That's why you got to listen to the show, ITCAP Podcast. Like, subscribe, share with your grandma, with your aunt, with your brother, with your sister, your mom, your dad, your cousin that you never freaking talk to. Please be sure to like and share at ITCAF Podcast. And as always, y'all, we love the one, the only Oprah.